You have probably seen people jumping off a boat before, but can you imagine what would happen if someone dove off a huge ship like Titanic? As a cliff diver, I know for sure that that would only cause problems. But I've recently heard a story about a guy jumping off the biggest and the most expensive cruise ship, the Royal Caribbean. What this ship is about and what happened to the guy? Try to guess now and watch until the end. The purpose of the video is purely educational. Never try to repeat any of following actions, it could be life-threatening.
Hey, what's up, Water crew? My name is Jim and I've been into diving for over 25 years. This episode is the second one in the series where we show the dangers of diving. And today's topic is jumping off ships and boats into the open water. What are the possible dangers before, during and after the dive? Why the Royal Caribbean is such a luxurious way to vacation? And are you going to go to jail if you jump off one of such cruise ships? And yes, this cruise ship is bigger than Titanic, so watch until the end. Ready? Let's fly!
So, what's the cruise ship that the guy jumped off? It's the Royal Caribbean, one of the major world cruise companies. They have some pretty big ships to their name, and the jump we are covering today happened on the biggest one of all. The name of the ship is Symphony of the Seas, and it's the most expensive cruise ship you can ever find. I feel very special reviewing this boat, because where you can find one of the most unique water shows, in which many of my diving friends have taken a part of. So the week of cruising on this kind of ship will cost you and your family quite a lot, but you can find all the different kinds of entertainment there. There is a giant Lego wall in family cabins, there is the slide that takes you down from the second floor, and of course a fun maze for the little ones. There is endless amount of jacuzzis and crazy water activities. An entire alley of clubs and shops and bars won't let any adult get bored. Speaking of water activities, why not to pull an entire water park on the ship? Or workout spaces? So if you are in a healthy athletic lifestyle, you can be fully satisfied too. And the absolute gold of the ship is the amazing water show. If you would like, I could make an entire episode on what the show is about, how to become a part of their team, and what artists' lives look like. But can you actually imagine a full-depth pool on the cruise ship? I mean, it's 6 meters deep. This weighs no less than 520 tons. And the divers perform off 3, 10 and even 17 meters platforms. So, going back to the guy who jumped off the boat, I kinda find it interesting that he was one to jump off, while there were like 20 pro divers who would never do that. Because they are totally sane, of course.
So while thinking about what troubles you can get into while diving in the ocean from the cruise ship, this video comes to my mind.
What do you do if you see somebody flying off the ship you are on? Well, the book protocol is to throw a life ring, point at people in the water, shout "man overboard" and inform their wheelhouse. A cruise normal speed is about 5 meters a second. Can you imagine what would happen to you while you are in the ocean? And the only hope to get saved is going in the opposite direction with such speed? Then imagine how much time would pass between the jump and the point at which such a giant boat can switch its direction to come back and rescue the jumper. However, the ship might not be enough to search for the person overboard in case no one witnessed the jump, or the crew finds out about the missing person too late. This situation might require helicopters to help. They will search the ocean as long as there is a reasonable chance of survival. There is a table that shows the likely survival time for a person swimming in different water temperatures. For example, if the water is 2 to 4 degrees, the expected time of survival is below 90 minutes. And this in case if a person is able to stay in the water for so long with no rest. After all that being said, does it really worth it to do something so insanely stupid as jumping off a cruise deck?
To show how dangerous it is, there is not only one story about jumping off a cruise that we already mentioned.
For example, this video shows a crazy ocean trouble of a man who seemed to slip off the edge of the boat. Another similar story where the person who jumped off the ship has not been found happened in a Norwegian cruise. Those who actually survived share what they gone through by describing their feelings as hopeless. So all we wish for is that after watching these videos people would never engage into something similar themselves. But now let's go over what happens to you if you are lucky enough to be found in the ocean. So, a drunk man, Nick, thought he would surprise a crew members, his friends, the seashore lifeguards and the police. And he did surprise all of them. You should know that nobody but the artists of the show are allowed to the highest platform that ship has. Letting other peoples go up there, that would violate the entire safety protocol. But Nick didn't care about the platform. He decided to jump straight into the ocean of one of the decks.
Oh my god!
That was the 11th deck of the total 17 that the ship has. You cannot tell right away what the height of that, but we timed his jump, and after a tricky math session, established that the estimated height he was flying from was 33 meters. That is higher than the platforms for high diving. The entire Red Bull diving community would be shocked by that, because the usual height of those dives is 20 and 27 meters, which is already dangerous, believe me. So our guy Nick probably didn't realize what he was getting into. What was he thinking about? I don't think he cared about anything else but the amount of likes on the social media, which is very bad, of course. And okay, what did he look like to his followers? He climbed on the railing, took off and flew down while swinging his arms and his legs. And what were the consequences of all that? In his Instagram he said that he sank 30 meters deep. This is a complete lie, because you would go 6 to 7 meters deep max after jumping off such a high. I bet if he went 30 meters deep, he would at least have an ear bleed when he got out. But another unbelievable thing is that he lands straight on his feet. Those who saw the beginning of the dive thought that it could actually be a painful attempt, which honestly sounds irrational to me. But luckily it didn't end that bad. From Nick's comments, the next few days after the jump, he limped and had some major problems breathing, plus his tailbone was bothering him. As for the other troubles he got in, right after the jump he was rescued by the coastline security guys. A Royal Caribbean issued a lifelong ban for his entrance on their ships, and of course he ended up at the police station. Unfortunately, we don't know the amount of the fee that he had to pay.
Well guys, I hope you'll share this video with some of your friends and help us to fight the stupidity in this planet. Give us thumbs up, write your suggestions in the comments, and please never do crazy stuff. We will do it instead of you. Take care, bye!